Hello, welcome back to Math Success Seminar Online. This lesson is going to be a little short because I just want to briefly cover rounding. And I wrote some places up here. We got the decimal, ones place, tens place, hundreds, thousands, tenths place with the th, hundredth place, thousandth place. So any decimal is going to have that th hanging onto it. So here, this is asking us to round to the 10th. So we have this number and this number. So first you want to find what the 10th position is. So the 10th position is this position right here. That's why I wrote this graph out. So in order to round this, we have to look to the next number. And you want to ask yourself, is this number 5 or greater? Well, this is a 6, so it is greater than 5, meaning when we round this, like this number is unaffected, but now this we're going to round up. Why is that? Well, if you think of it like money, and you're trying to round to the nearest dollar, I know it doesn't work this way in real life, but it would be nice. Because if you had, let's say for instance, you had 375, is that closer to $4 or is that closer to $3? Well, it's closer to $4 because we're just a quarter away from 4. But it's further away from 3 because we're 3/4 away from 3. So 50 or 50% or 5 or right in the middle of that, anytime you have a 5 or greater, you round up. So since this is a 6, you round this position to a 1. So rounding to the 10th would be 1.1. Now if we round this one to the 10th, notice we got even more decimal places here. First you want to identify the 10th place. The 10th place is right here, right behind the decimal. Now you look to this number. Is this number 5 or greater? Yes, because it is a 6. So when we round it, we leave any number to the left of it alone, but now we're going to round this up, 3.4. So they could ask you to round to not a decimal place, but just a place. That's why I wrote these ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, because we want to round this to the nearest 10. But where is the 10 position? Because notice this number is 5. It doesn't even get close to 10. So first you want to identify the tens position. Well, if this is ones, the tens position should be the next one over. We don't have a number there, so we can put a 0 as kind of a placeholder to remind us that it is important. So how many tens do you have? Well, you don't even have 10 yet because you only have 5. But now in order to round this position, you want to look to the next number to the right. This is a 5, meaning you're going to round up. So this rounds to a 1, and everything else changes to a 0. So rounding this to the nearest 10 actually becomes 10. I wish money worked that way, because if you have $5.67, maybe you could go to the bank and have them round up to a $10 bill. That would be nice, but it doesn't work that way, sadly. So round to the nearest 10 for this one. I already underlined it. Here's the ones position, here's the tens position. So you want to look to this number. Is this 5 or greater? Yes, this is greater than 5. So you round this position up by 1, and then you make the rest zeros. And you always want to remember where your decimal is, so you can just keep everything organized like that. So these are fairly easy examples, rounding to the 10th, rounding to the 10. But let's try pretty weird ones. How about like 1, 1. And actually, let's do this number twice. So first, let's round to the 1,000th. Let's add another number up front here. Actually, let's round to the 100th instead. Yeah. 100th. Round to the 100th. So first you want to identify where is the 100th position. I'm going to make this a 2 also. Where's the 100th position? Well, it's 2 behind the decimal. So it's 2 to the right of the decimal. 1, 2. Here's the 100th position. So if I'm rounding this number, I look to this number. Is this 5 or greater? No, it is less than 5. Meaning, when you rewrite it, anything to the left you just leave as is, and then you leave this number. You're not going to round it up. So this is what rounding down looks like. It's because we're just chopping that 2 off, and now it's not even there. Round to the 100th. There we go. Rounded to the 100th. So now if we round to the 100, first we have to identify the 100 position. So we have ones, tens, hundreds. So this is the position we want to round. So what do we have to do? We look to the next number to the right. Is this 5 or greater? No. So numbers to the left you're going to leave, and that means we're going to round this number down. So that 1 stays as a 1, and then you just fill in the rest of the positions with zeros. And I'm just doing this. Sometimes you don't need the decimal hanging on to the end. Sometimes you can get away with just leaving it like this, 1,100. But knowing your decimal positions and knowing how to round is a very important skill, because along with decimal, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, they're just going to tell you round this to the nearest whatever, and you're going to have to know what position that is and how to round. I keep kicking this thing. So this is a brief overview on how to round things, and I will catch you next time.